OBSBOT just released their Tiny 3 webcam. It's the latest webcam in their Tiny series, and if you want to see how tiny this really is, like this is it next to the Tiny 2. It is really living up to the Tiny name. These things are getting so small, but they did something really interesting with this that solves a unique issue with streamers that hasn't really been solved, at least not in a way this simple before. And I'm really excited about it. There's a reason I say that 2026 is the year of the webcam, because there are some very exciting, unique solutions out there. Other than just upgrading the image quality and the sensor size and all the normal things you do when you iterate on a webcam, they decided to tackle webcam audio. And they did so in a really cool way, where they have also released the OBSBOT Vox SE. It's this tiny little lav mic that directly connects to the webcam. Because here's the thing, PTZ cameras are really cool. Being able to stand up and walk around the room, move around, is a really great thing to do in the middle of a live stream to keep it dynamic. But the problem is most streamers have a microphone like this. And so when you want to stand up and move around, you're stuck with two options. You can either shout really loud so this microphone can hear you, or you're forced to grab something like the Rode Wireless Pro, which is a great lav, but it's not really made with live streamers in mind. You got to have a receiver that would be plugged into the PC, and it's running on battery power, so you have to take it off and charge it every time, and if it dies, you know, just so many potential problems. And also, it's like $400. This little lav, which comes with a little charging dock, and it comes with some magnets. Let's just throw those on real quick. I can either just throw the magnet on the inside of my shirt, or it comes with a magnetic clamp. I can just have this on me the entire stream, and then if I want to stand up and move around, I switch the audio source to this guy. And also it's got a button on the side, and if I press it, it turns on the tracking on the camera, which is really cool. If I press it again, the tracking turns off. Let's press it again, tracking turns on. And now the tracking's off. This is by far the simplest solution I've seen to free audio around your space. And then when you're done, you just slap it back in the little charger and you're good. I looked through all the information they gave me and I didn't see a price for the Vox SE, so I'm sure I'll have it by the time I post this. I'll put it right here in the corner. But you can connect up to 2 of these lav mics to either the new Tiny 3, which is $349, or the other new webcam they're releasing, which is the Tiny 3 Lite, which is $199. But that's only one of the audio improvements they've made. They've also added, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little microphone array in the back of this here, where they've added this system of microphones onto the base of the webcam so that as the webcam tracks you, the microphones essentially also track you, and they give you 5 different audio settings. Let me show you all 5 of those settings right now so you can hear the difference between them. And keep in mind, we are switching from a very high-end Sennheiser shotgun mic to a webcam mic. So while you may hear a downgrade in quality, it is still a heavy upgrade over any webcam quality. And in my opinion, it's one of the first times webcam quality has actually sounded useful. This first one's called Smart Omni Mode, and omnidirectional means you can hear from any direction. So if you have stuff on the side of the webcam or behind the webcam, you can hear it just as clearly there as you can in front. This next one is called Directional Mode, and you can hear there's some processing done, and that's because it does a really great job in cutting out the sides and the back. Although I think the directional mode sounds the most processed out of all of them. Dual directional mode is like a figure 8, where you hear in front of the webcam and behind the webcam, but not on the sides. This is probably one of my favorites out of the 5, even though I don't really care to hear what's behind the webcam. It just seems to have the most natural sound out of all of them. And that's pretty normal. Lots of times in a studio, you'll actually set a microphone to figure 8 mode. It just, for some reason, gives some nice clarity to the person talking into it. This is called Pure Audio Mode, and this is the mode with no processing at all, meaning you're going to hear the fans of my PC really turn on here when I do that. It's probably not going to be super useful for most streamers who have large PCs with fans, but it is there in case that works for you. And then you have Spatial Audio Mode, which gives you like a stereo signal. So maybe if you're doing ASMR and you get really up close to the mic, this might be the way you want to go. So some really cool and useful audio improvements, not only actually having useful microphones inside the webcam itself, but then the inclusion of this lav mic, which is honestly, I think, probably the most exciting thing out of all this. But they did also upgrade the camera itself, and that's what I'm going to show you. I've got this side by side right now with the Tiny 2, so the previous version of this webcam. Now the Tiny 3, which is the webcam on the left here, has that larger and improved sensor. So that same size that we've talked about with some other webcams, that 1/1.3 inch sensor, which gives you much more dynamic range, gives you much better low light performance, and also gives you slightly more shallow depth of field, which you can see if you look at the little face on this mouse pad. Right over here, you can see it's much blurrier on the left side. Maybe not much blurrier, but it's marginally blurrier on the left side. But the most significant upgrade, in my opinion here, the thing I'm most excited about 2026 webcams, including the Tiny 3 here, is if you look at my face. If you look at my face on the right, if you don't know much about cameras, you don't know what to look for, you might feel like my face on the right just looks flatter than my face on the left. My face on the left just looks like it pops off the screen a little bit more, and there's a reason for that. That is due to increased dynamic range, meaning the camera's ability to see details in the low light areas and in the highlight areas. If you look at the shadows, especially in the areas like next to my nose, under my eye over here, you can kind of see that this whole side of my face is almost the same level of brightness versus the shadows on the Tiny 3 on the left side look a little bit darker. But even though they look darker, they still retain the same colors and the same quality. They don't get washed out or muddied up at all. And that's what makes the face look like it's deeper, is because there's more detail in those shadows. This is why I never use a ring light, by the way. Shadows are what give an image depth. Don't be afraid of shadows. But most importantly, you need good shadows. And the Tiny 3, with its improved dynamic range, its larger sensor, just really gives your face and the subject that depth that you need that dynamic range for. It's really exciting to see. Here's some quick side-by-side shots with the Tiny 3 and some other webcams in a similar price range. I'm not going to share my opinion during this section just because this video is sponsored, but I want you to be able to see for yourself some of the differences in clarity and background blur and color and image quality. But all in all, great upgrade to the Tiny series. I'm excited to see what they're doing with these webcams. Leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts. Leave them for me, leave them for other people to read so you can get a variety of opinions on this thing. I'll leave a link to these in the description down below if you're interested. And as always, happy streaming.